welcome back to my channel. For today's video we have another Will I Buy It. This is the series where I go through all the latest makeup releases and let you know my thoughts and opinions, what has piqued my interest and what I'm not so interested in. This video is inspired by Samantha March, who did create the Will I Buy It series on her channel. I will have her channel linked in the description box below. She did also create a Will I Buy It community playlist where creators like myself can all put their videos on there, and it is a great kind of one-stop shop for all the Will I Buy It series on people's channels, and is a great way to find new creators. That will also be linked in the description box below. And then finally, I do take all of my information from the Trend Mood One Instagram page, which again will be linked in the description box below. I did say originally that I wanted to do a separate video on the holiday releases, but because of the times at which the announcements are coming out, I've found it difficult to sort of set time aside to film a video solely on the holiday sets. So what I'm going to do is any that have been announced in the past month I will just include in this video, and then I do intend to do some sort of video about all the holiday sets that have been released. I will probably just go over the ones that I am looking to pick up or the ones that I do find are good value. There are so many holiday sets this year, it is so hard to keep up with them. So why don't we get started and go through the latest makeup releases. So I do have a lot of tabs open up on Trend Mood, so this may be a slightly longer video. I'm going to be as brief as I possibly can when going through each item, so why don't we get started. Going back to a post from the beginning of October, and this is in relation to a Colourpop release. As with most videos, there will be a couple of Colourpop releases scattered throughout. I do tend to talk about each product in the order in which they were announced on Trend Mood rather than by brand. So this one was announced back on the 6th of October for release on the 8th of October, and this is the Tope Collection. This does consist of an eyeshadow palette, some Super Shock shadows, some glossy lips, some lippy pencils and some Super Shock highlighters. The eyeshadow palette in this collection definitely caught my attention, not so much any of the other products, just the eyeshadow palette. Cool toned eyeshadows definitely seem to be having a moment because there have been quite a few releases of cool toned shadows recently. This is one that has definitely caught my eye and one I would definitely be interested in purchasing. But I did not so long ago purchase the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I feel like it is very similar shades. There probably would be a lot of overlap between this one and the Natasha Denona one. I think if this one had possibly been released before the Natasha Denona one, I would have picked it up more. But now I say because I've got that one, I don't feel like I need this one. But it is a really pretty palette and one I could definitely see myself using every single shade of. So never say never with this one, but for the time being, I'm not picking it up. Then we have a release from Huda Beauty, and this is one that is available now. This is of a mini eyeshadow palette and a lipstick. This is the Baby One palette, which I believe was named after her daughter, and then a Satin Luxe lipstick in the shade Baby. So the lipstick is $28 and the eyeshadow palette is $25. Both of these caught my eye because they are the kind of colour stories that I like to go for. I don't think I've seen a stockist of Lawless here in the UK, but these are products that if I could find them here in the UK, or if they didn't have extortionate shipping, etc., this would be a product I would definitely be interested in picking up. I don't think the price point is too bad. The lipstick is slightly higher than I tend to pay for lipsticks, but $25 for a 8-pan eyeshadow palette I feel is pretty reasonable, and I have heard really good things about this brand. Then the first holiday release to discuss is a further extension to the Natasha Denona holiday collection. I did briefly touch on the mini palette that was released as part of this collection in my last Will I Buy It, but shortly after I posted that video the full collection was announced. So the palette was the Zendo palette, which is one of the 5-pan mini palettes for $25, and then there are 2 lipsticks released in addition to the I Need a Nude lipstick collection range. These are in the shade Maria and Andrea. These are $25 each, and then there is a I Need a Nude Glow highlighter, which is $42. I have had a look online at the lipsticks because I do want to try one of the lipsticks from the I Need a Nude range. But when I was on her website direct, I could only see these 2 new shades available, and looking at the swatches of both of these, I don't think they quite suit me. I think they are both slightly lighter of a nude than I tend to go for, so I'm going to pass on them too. I am definitely intrigued by the highlighter. $42 is more than I like to spend on highlighters. I do, if possible, like to get minis. So if this was released as a mini, I would definitely look at picking it up because I do love the quality of the products I've tried from Natasha Denona so far. The next release that caught my eye is, I believe, from KKW Beauty, and it's in celebration of Kim Kardashian's 40th birthday. Whenever I see new palettes released from KKW Beauty and Kylie Cosmetics, I always seem to skim over them because they never catch my eye, and I can usually immediately tell that that's what the brand is, and say this is the first one that I think has really stopped me in my tracks and made me look into it further. It's definitely a different colour story than what we're used to seeing, because from what I can remember, a lot of their palettes are quite muted, but this is a really pretty palette. So this one is the Opalescent Pressed Powder palette and is $45. There are quite a few kind of purple tone shades in here which I don't tend to gravitate towards, so this isn't one that I would pick up, but it did definitely catch my eye as something slightly different. There is also some semi-matte liquid lipsticks which are $22 each, and these look to be in really pretty shades as well. There are some nudes and then some brighter shades. The nudes I think are a bit too light for me, and then the brighter shades I wouldn't go for, but I did want to mention this one because it did definitely make me do a double take. The next holiday release to talk about is the one from Pat McGrath Cosmetics. This one is available now and consists of a few eyeshadow palettes, a highlighter and some lipsticks. The main palette, which I believe is £18, was announced first a few weeks ago, and this is the Celestial Divinity palette. This one retails for $78, and I think I've seen it here and it's 60 something pounds. Then we have some matte trans lipsticks which are $38 each, and then some other matte trans lipsticks which are $48 each, but these look like they are in sort of more luxurious packaging. And then we have some Luxe Quad eyeshadow palettes which are $58 each. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of consider the big palette in this collection, and only for the kind of insanity that I thought it was a bargain. Now, for it to be still 60 something pounds or £70, that is not a bargain. I don't think I could ever spend that on eyeshadow palette. I did actually consider it for a second because of how many pans there are and how many shadows are there, plus the swatches look gorgeous. And for me, because it wasn't 100 and something pounds or 129, whatever the other ones are, I seen it as a bargain, which is really strange. So this one again did make me do a double take. I don't think there's anything from here that I will be picking up, but it did catch my eye, and I have been wanting to kind of dip my toe more into Pat McGrath recently, but definitely when they're on sale. Then we have the holiday releases from Juvia's Place. It looks like there are two different collections. There is the Nubian Royal Collection and then the Nubian Glow Collection. So it says they are $26 and they include a mini eyeshadow palette and two Nubian Nourishing Lip Balms. I don't think I've seen lip balms on Juvia's Place before, so these must be a new release altogether. Obviously they have released a few of the mini palettes recently, so I think these are just an addition to that. So we have the purple toned one and then the orangey gold toned one. Neither of these palettes appeal to me, to be honest. Like I said before, purple tones I don't tend to draw towards, even though this one is kind of bluey purple. And then the gold tones in that palette, I don't feel like I need them in my collection. I don't overly reach for bright orange or bright yellow tones. Probably do have them in other Juvia's Place palettes. The other reason why I'm not so drawn towards this collection is if they are the same formula as the mini palettes. I did not so long ago pick up the Taupes one, and I didn't find it performed as well as other Juvia's Place eyeshadows that I've tried, so it has kind of put me off their minis. I feel like they're not as intense of a shadows as their other ones, which if that is what you like to go for, and especially because the colours in these two palettes are so bright, that might be something for you. And each collection is only $26 for 4 items. I think that is a really good deal, but for me these ones are a pass. Then we have a new release from Beauty Bakery, and these are the Sugar Stick Lip Liners. The packaging on these ones definitely caught my eye. They do look like kind of crystals on top of the packaging. It looks like they come in 6 different shades and are $18 each. At the moment, or as at this post, which was the 17th of October, it just says coming soon, but I am quite tempted by these. I have had a recent good experience with Beauty Bakery and it does make me want to try more from the brand, and the packaging alone on this just looks stunning, and I am getting more into lip liners, so this is one I will definitely be keeping an eye on. Then we have another addition to Natasha Denona's holiday collection, and this is the Trio Chrome eyeshadow palette. So this says it's an extension to the Chromium liquid eyeshadows and is a £15 eyeshadow palette with 3 new futuristic multi-chrome pigments in the centre of each row and a complementary matte eyeshadow to complete the whole makeup look. This one retails for $129, which is the normal price point of a lot of the bigger Natasha Denona palettes. But looking at the packaging, it does look very similar to the size of the Glam palette, which was only $65. So I don't know until I see it kind of in person as such on a video or something, which size palette it is actually like. I don't know if it is like the smaller palettes, but because of the quality of the shadows inside, that's why it's got the higher price point. Colour Story, this one doesn't really appeal to me at all, and neither does the price point, so this one is definitely a pass for me. And this one is available as at November 3rd, which I believe at the point you're watching this should have been yesterday. Then we have a foundation release from Huda Beauty. These are the Faux Filter Skin Finish Foundation Sticks, and these are $39 each. This says it's a creamy stick formula that melts into the skin for a natural filtered finish. That does kind of appeal to me because I do definitely like a more natural finish in my foundation. I've never actually tried a foundation stick before, so I am quite intrigued by this one. But for $39, it's not something I would just purchase to try. I would maybe see if I could get it on sale, and I want to see reviews and things on this at first. But this one is available now and I am quite intrigued by this one. Then we have some new blushes from Milani Cosmetics. These are the Cheek Kiss Cream Blushes, and these are infused with pomegranate, watermelon and rose extracts. It says they are multitasking because you can use them as a lip balm as well. I'm not into cream products at all. I'm all about powder products. I tend to skip over liquid and cream blushes, but because looking at the picture of this, I did just think they were normal blushes, so I did click into it. But as soon as I seen it was cream products, I just clicked off. It does say these are available now, so if you do like cream products, they would be worth a go because Milani's cheap products are really good. And also as well, these only retail for $8.99 each, which I think is a really good buy. Then there is an eyeshadow palette that caught my eye from the brand XO Beauty, which appears to be a indie brand from New Zealand. And this is $36.18, which I take it to be a conversion from the New Zealand price. And this is a 12-pan matte and shimmer palette. It does look really pretty and is one that if you would have told me it was Colourpop, I would say I would definitely pick up. I don't even know where I could get this eyeshadow palette, if I could get it at all, but it is really pretty and that colour story does definitely appeal to me. So this is one that I may keep an eye on, and it will say it is available now. Then we have another blush release, and this one is from e.l.f. and they are releasing Putty Blushes. This one does definitely intrigue me, as did the Putty Primers that they released. I haven't quite got round to trying the Putty Primers yet, so I would like to kind of try the consistency of that before I delved into a colour-based product like a blush. But these do look really fun, and they do come in quite a few different shades, and they are only $6 each. I don't know how you would go about applying these. I know with the kind of putty primer you do sort of dig your nail into it and then rub it on your skin, but I don't know how you would pick up a putty blush. So I'm going to keep an eye out for reviews on this because I'm really intrigued by this product, and $6 is a good deal. And it does say that these are available now. And then my next tab is another release from e.l.f. and these are some additions to their skincare range. These are part of the Holy Hydration family. We have the Holy Hydration Cleansing Balm and then the Holy Hydration Daily Cleanser. I have tried quite a few different cleansing balms as of late, and these are definitely not for me. I just can't seem to work with them. However, the Daily Cleanser does definitely appeal to me. My go-to daily facial cleanser is the one from e.l.f., but it is just their normal one, so I am definitely intrigued to try the hydrating one. So on this post that I'm looking at, it is just the revealed post, so I can't actually see prices for this. With it being e.l.f. skincare, I don't imagine it's going to be too highly priced. I do pay, I think, $5 or £5 for their normal face wash. My prediction is this one's going to be around the £8 mark. For the cleansing balm, because the Holy Hydration Moisturiser I think is about £12 or £15, I would say the cleansing balm's maybe going to be around that point. But yeah, for sure the Daily Cleanser, once I see that available here, I will definitely be giving that a go. I know both of these products were available in a recent Trend Mood box, which I nearly did pick up. It was $25 for a handful of the Holy Hydration products from e.l.f. and they do now ship the Trend Mood boxes to the UK, which is great. The shipping is $15, but I do need to look into it properly to see whether that includes prepaid customs or anything. Otherwise, getting one of the boxes will end up quite pricey. But the Trend Mood boxes always look great, and I believe they are bringing out another one shortly, so I will for sure be keeping an eye on that. The next release is one from Colourpop, and this is a new eyeshadow palette, and this is the Child eyeshadow palette, which is based on the Star Wars TV show The Mandalorian. So this is a 9-pan palette, which is $16 and was available on October 29th. And this is a product that I have actually already purchased, and I did pick it up on the day it was released. I can't actually remember the last time I did that with a makeup release, and I don't actually even watch The Mandalorian. I am a big Star Wars fan, I just haven't got round to watching The Mandalorian yet. I do believe the second season has just started, so we probably are going to try and binge watch seasons 1 and 2 once it's all out. But I do love the look of Baby Yoda, or the child as he appears to be called. I have recently been reaching more and more for green eyeshadow, and the ones in this palette did really appeal to me. So before it was released, I did make sure to look at swatches, and I also watched that girl Shay's live swatch video, which I always find her videos really helpful. So I decided I would just go for it and purchase it. Like I said, it is $16, but because of shipping and things like that, I did end up paying about £24 for mine. I was going to order a couple of other things to make the delivery worth it, but I don't really need anything else, so I did just purchase this one. So you will be seeing that featured in my haul at the end of the month, so that is one that I've definitely picked up. Then we have a new eyeshadow palette released from Huda Beauty, and I believe this is the holiday release. This is the Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette, and this is $67. This one does look like a really pretty palette. There looks like a lot of interesting textures in here. The eyeshadow that is the bottom left of the palette looks particularly interesting, although not in a good way to me. It kind of looks like when people put like samples of bacteria things to go under a microscope. So that shade doesn't look very appealing to me at all. I do like the colour story in here. It is a slightly higher price point, so this one isn't for me, but it is a really pretty palette. Also a few other kind of gift sets and things that I know Huda and the skincare brand Wishful have released. They have kind of re-released their nude palettes as gift sets with a liquid lipstick, and I believe the price of these sets is the price of what you pay for one of those nude palettes anyway. So I think they are a really good deal. If you have been wanting to try one of their nude palettes, you would then get a liquid lipstick as well. And then I think they have also brought out a peppermint scented of their Yo Enzyme scrub. I'm not a massive fan of kind of minty scented skincare, so that one's definitely a pass for me. And then I think they have just released some other like mini liquid lipstick sets and things like that. If I can find a picture of their whole releases, I will put it on the screen. The next release is part 2 of the Makeup Revolution and Friends collaboration. So in part 2 we have a few more eyeshadow palettes, and these are 3D palettes which are $25 each, so slightly more expensive than the ones that were in part 1 because they were just 9-pan palettes. These appear to be an array of different sizes. There looks like a couple more 9-pan palettes and then a couple of palettes with 21 shades in. None of these appeal to me at all. I am quite happy with my purchases from the first one. For me, the packaging in these just looks a little bit cheap. I know I kind of said that with the first one as well, but I didn't mind that because they were cheaper products. None of the colour stories in here appeal to me too much. Maybe the 9-pan one that's shaped like a mug, but that's about it. And then they do also have, oh, it looks like that's actually in a couple of different shades. So it's called the Grab a Cup face palette. They have light to medium and then dark to deep, and it says it's a face palette. So it's a bronzing, highlighting and sculpting palette, not an eyeshadow palette. So I wouldn't make use of that being a face palette. I would only use it if it was an eyeshadow palette, so that one doesn't appeal to me anymore. And these products are available as at November 4th, which I believe is the day you're seeing this. Also, the collection includes some body creams and more, but yeah, I'm going to pass on everything in this one. Then we have another release from Revolution, but this is instead I Heart Revolution, and this is in collaboration with Disney. So we have some storybook palettes which are £15 each or $20. We have some storybook heart highlighters which are £8 or $10 each. We have some storybook lip toppers which are £5 or $7 each, and then some storybook lashes which are £8 or $10 each. This one did definitely catch my eye, and again, it's completely for the packaging. With it being I Heart Revolution, I think that is a slightly cheaper formula than normal Makeup Revolution, so it wouldn't be for the formula that I'd be purchasing these. It looks like princess wise we have Cinderella, Belle and Tiana. Is it Tiana? The one from Princess and the Frog, I think it's Tiana. And the colour story of the palettes, none of them appeal to me too much. Maybe the Belle one, but not enough for me to make a purchase. It does look like they are actually eyeshadow and face palettes, so that is quite good. And yeah, I'd say that the tones in the Belle one, they're probably the ones that appeal to me the most. The lip toppers don't appeal to me, and neither do the highlighters, so this would be a purchase solely for the packaging, but I am going to give it a miss. We then have yet more releases from Colourpop. This is the Dark Blooms collection, and this consists of 3 different eyeshadow palettes. There is the Baroque palette, the Grandeur palette and the Ornate palette, and then some lip glosses, some Luxe Velvet lipsticks and some pressed blushes. As a whole, I do really like the aesthetic of this collection. It is very autumnal with all the kind of dark flowery shades. A lot of the blushes do look really pretty. I think there's 3 blushes available and every one of those shades does look really pretty. Out of the eyeshadow palettes, none of them appeal to me completely, just the odd shade here and there from them. I do like the look of the Baroque palette because I do feel like it is slightly more unique. It's kind of like your grey blue shades, but they are not shades that I know I'd reach for, so that one wouldn't be for me. I just like that it is slightly different, and I do like the look of their lipstick bundles, but at the moment I definitely don't need any more lip products. So this one is a pass for me, but it is really pretty and it is available now. Next we have a very random Halloween release between the brand, I think it's Divinity, which looks to be a Korean brand, and Starbucks. So this consists of a dark plum lip balm and keychain pouch, and then a single eyeshadow in copper gold, which also comes in a keychain pouch. I mean, I like the packaging of it, and it's quite cool that the product, the eyeshadow, has the Starbucks logo in it, but this is just a bit random. It doesn't have any price details or when it's out or anything like that, but this one did just catch my eye because I've seen the Starbucks logo. But yeah, that one's quite interesting. Then we have a new release from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible 24-hour Freshwater foundation in a powder. This one does say it is available now, and it is $11.99 for 16 different shades. It says it's full coverage of a liquid foundation in a weightless powder texture that blurs, evens and smooths skin. It is a matte finish foundation powder, waterproof, sweatproof and heatproof. I am kind of intrigued by this one. Before getting into liquid foundation a couple of years ago, I did only used to wear powder foundation. I just wore the one from Bare Minerals, so I haven't worn powder foundation in the longest time. So I am quite tempted to give it a go. The only thing that puts me off is it's the Infallible 24-hour Freshwater, and I'm not the biggest fan of the liquid foundation in this range, so I don't know if it's the kind of formula that will translate to what I like, but it's only going to be about £10, I would say. That's if it even comes out over here. So this is one that if I do spot it in the likes of Superdrug and things, I may give it a little go. Then we have some new additions to the One Size brand, and this is a blurring setting powder. So this says it's a superfine 14-hour blurring setting powder with a soft matte finish. It is $30 full size or $16 for a travel size. They have it in a couple of different shades, so they've got a translucent one and then a dark and deep one for deeper skin tones. I do like that they have brought out a full size and a travel size, so you can try that smaller size straight away. A lot of brands tend to release a full size of a product and then after it's been out for a little while will then release a travel size, but I like that these have both been released at the same time. I am getting more into loose setting powders at the moment, and $16 isn't a bad price, but I feel like I have got enough to be getting on with that I don't need to go for this one at the moment. I don't even know if One Size is available over here at all actually, but it looks like a nice product and I do appreciate the 2 different sizes. Next we have another release from e.l.f. This is the Flawless Brightening Concealer. So this says luminosity is a click away, create a brightened flawless complexion with the flick of a pen. Buildable brightening concealer to highlight all over your face. Lightweight formula brightens and highlights your key features. infused with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C. This formula works to conceal uneven skin tones, and these are $5 each. This one definitely appeals to me. It looks very similar to the YSL Touche Class setup with the kind of click up pen with the brush tip. That is my holy grail under eye concealer, and I've never managed to find one that comes close to it. The YSL one does retail for about £25, so if I can find an alternative that is going to be a fifth of the price of that, I am all for giving it a go. I'm hoping this product is released over here. It does say available now, so I am, once I finish this video, to be honest, going to go and have a look into this one. There have been a couple of recent releases from e.l.f. that haven't yet made it here to the UK. The main one is the bite-sized face duos that they released. I've been checking every so often to see if they've appeared on any of our UK websites or even direct on e.l.f.'s UK website, and they just aren't on there at all. So I'm really hoping that these do come over here because I definitely want to give them a go. Obviously have to shade match online, but if it's only $5, I don't mind kind of picking up a couple of different shades to give them a go, especially because I do like a more peachy toned concealer under my eyes. But if I did pick one up that was not quite the right tone, I probably could use it elsewhere on my face. So this one is a definite, and fingers crossed they come to the UK. Then we have the holiday release from BH Cosmetics, and these are available now. This consists of 2 different eyeshadow palettes and a brush set. We have the Naughty eyeshadow palette, which is a 30 shaded palette for $29. And then the Nice palette, which is a $12 16 shade palette. And then the Snowbody Like You 12-piece brush set, which is $28. I do like the look of the brush set, and I think $28 is a good price. I do have a few brushes from BH Cosmetics in my collection, and I do really like the quality of them. I definitely don't need any more brushes at the moment, but they did definitely catch my eye. As for the eyeshadow palettes, I'm not really a big fan of this collection. There wasn't too much of it that jumped out. I don't kind of like how different the eyeshadow palettes are. I know they are supposed to be naughty and nice, but for me, I would have liked them to be in the same format with the same amount of shades, but just different colour stories. But they both look like kind of a bit of a neutral mishmash in both, with the odd pop of colour. So this one isn't for me. And then the final one I've got open on my tabs is another release from Linda Hallberg Cosmetics, which I think I may have ended last month's video on as well. This is the new Golden 20s eyeshadow palette, which is a 12 shaded palette with multi-use formulas for $55. It includes 5 mattes, 1 semi-matte, 4 shimmers and 2 glitters. And then there is also an eyeshadow primer, which is $24, and this one is available on the 3rd of November. This does look like a really pretty palette. When I did first see this, I did initially think it was a NARS palette based on the size and the colour story, but it is from Linda Hallberg. $55 is a bit more than I like to spend on eyeshadow palettes. I have kind of wanted to try something from this brand, and this is a palette that I definitely think I would make use out of, but for now I'm going to pass on this one. I'm just going to do one last refresh of the Trend Mood feed just to make sure there's nothing else been announced since I started filming. So there is one more release that has popped up on the Trend Mood feed since I started filming, and this is a new collection from Spectrum. Okay, wasn't expecting that based on how it looks. So this is the Pantherine Collection, which includes a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, which is £30 or $41, a 5-piece brush set, which is £35 or $48, a 6-piece eye brush set, which is £30 or $41, a makeup clutch bag, which is £30, and then a 2-piece sponge set, which is £10 or $14. I think that's it. Oh no, there's quite a few other things as well in there. There's some storage things as well, which is quite nice. So there's some acrylic storage, a few different bundles, a storage tray and things like that. Looking at this, I definitely wouldn't have said this was Spectrum brushes. They have only recently been kind of dabbling in makeup. They have only ever brought out brushes. I have definitely been intrigued by some of the products that they have brought out. They have got a couple of eyeshadows at this point, I believe, and they do look really pretty. And they also have, I think, some lipsticks as well. I can't quite see from this initial picture the palette, so let me just have a quick look through. Right, So I do follow Spectrum on Instagram because I'm a huge fan of their brushes, and I had seen pictures of these individual pans kind of popping up on my feed. Because of the imprint on the pan, I don't know why, but I had thought they were Alamar Cosmetics because I also follow them on Instagram. I know they've got a kind of squiggle somewhere, I think, in their logo. So I had actually thought that this palette was Alamar Cosmetics, not Spectrum. This does look like a really pretty palette. I don't think it's anything I need in my collection, but I feel like it is gorgeous for this time of the year. £30 isn't too bad based on how much their other makeup products are and kind of how much their brushes are. This is one that has definitely caught my eye, and I like the brushes as well. They're kind of different from all the other brushes that I have, with the brown handle and the kind of brushed copper metal bit, whatever that's called. I do like the shades in the palette. The acrylic storage units look really pretty and different as well. So this is a really nice looking collection. For the time being, I don't think I'm going to pick anything up from it, but I do really like the look of it. So that is it. I'm fully up to date with Trend Mood and all the latest releases, and I am starting to lose my voice. I'm hoping this isn't the longest video in the world, but I have a feeling it's going to be longer than usual, which is always fun because I do try and turn this one around quite quickly. But that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.